Sorry about that, fellas. I actually had to reach down and grab some. So this is a bearing race. This is what goes inside of the hub. The hub might be cast aluminum, cast steel, a number of different materials out there, magnesium. But this hardened steel, this is actually like a really hardened tool steel, is what the bearing rides against inside of this, up against your hub. It's I got them down there, but I had to grab this to show you guys. So what you want to do is when you get the hub lined up, and we'll show you the hub here in a second. The reason we're talking about this is this one, as you can see, it's really chewed up inside of here. That was from the one I wound up doing a while back. You can actually see where it started pitting inside and eating away the race, which is what kind of caused it to go bad. And I'll insert a picture here. And that was the hub. You can see the metallic contamination all the way through it on that side of the hub. It was one that I went over, kind of did a video mention of it a little while back. But drive these out, no simple task. Definitely not a simple task at all. So we're going to go ahead and show you a different old hub over here that, you know, Super Trucker screwed up and baked the living crap out of. But we'll go ahead, we'll show you that one, then we'll show you what we're going to do. So stay tuned. All right, so as you can see, the outer hub itself isn't bad. The races are pretty well fried, and this is exactly how it looked the day I took it off. And it was the bearings themselves that had welded to the spindle on the tractor. But wheel seal went out and it was roasted. I mean, you take a look at that, you can see all the scoring and everything else, and it was all through the hub. You want to talk about a mess. But I mean, that race is gone, and you can still see a lot of the metal and everything else all throughout there. But that's what happens when driver doesn't check his truck and wheel seal shells out on him. So needless to say how expensive that was. But well, I got you guys here. So the nice thing about the races is if you look right inside, right there, you see where that little divot is. That is for your race driver to go ahead and excuse me, that is where your race driver sets into to drive out your race. Then they have another one right there on the opposite side. So on the drives, you actually get a little bit more surface area. You could tell by the difference in size. Hold on here. Say this is off of a drive tire, or a drive hub, just to give you an idea. So, but this is what you drive out. You can see the one right here all the way around. So we're going to get set up, get the camera reset up, get our PPE on, and have some fun driving these things out. Alright, so obviously we got our PPE on. You always do want to have some type of eye protection on whenever you're handling any type of chisel or punch. This is relatively hard material. Your hammer, obviously, there's a chance that a piece of this chips off, goes off into Neverland or right into your eyeball. So at the very least, protect your peepers, people. Now, all right. So the one nice thing about having a full kit of race drivers thing is you have different length options. So your different length options, obviously, especially when you're dealing with something deeper, since you have to drive out the opposite end first. is that actually gives you a nice little hand protection area there. So after you get set up, get everything onto a nice hard surface, find your indents and find the one race driver that's gonna work pretty good for you. Hold it up. Then you'll smack evenly one side, switch it over, smack the other side, alternate back and forth. Two. Now it's nice when you have two race drivers of the same size, because then you really got it down, smack both at the same time, and that'll save you a little bit of time. But you know, it is something that you do want to do. Take your time. You don't want to screw up the hub, because then you got to buff stuff out. Line back up. That one has some debris built up into that side, which makes it not so easy. It wants to fight me, but don't worry, because I'll win. Oh boy. Now, it's already starting to chew her up a little bit. That's nothing against this. This is just the hardened steel that I'm up against. And if I had a little bit more length, I could use this one a little bit more ease. But you're asking, well, why don't I just add a nice little adapter to this? Hold on. Ta-da! Anyways, so one of the other things that you can do is if you are working with a little bit more cramped quarters and you don't necessarily want to have your hand that close to the hammer and the edge and everything else in here, get yourself a set of Vise Grips. Works wonders. Brand doesn't matter. Just one good way of helping keep your digits out of harm's way, especially when you make a living with them. Find my divot. Now once you really start driving it out, eventually, almost. I think that should be almost it. So we drove her out quite a ways. Since tone ring and all the other faces in the way of pushing this the rest of the way out, since she is already plenty loose, tip her on her side. It's a good thing this is a scrap hub. And you can definitely tell the difference in the sound once you start getting her. All right. Then you drive your race clean out. She got hot. She got bad. She got chewed the hell up. A lot of that in there is bearing material, like where the bearings fell apart and whatever else was welded to the spindle. There we go. Now, as you can see much better, one inside. Well, I don't think that one gives us any divots to work in. Oh, it does. We just got demolished right there. Divots on this side are a little bit harder to see, but they're there. So, not to bore you guys to death, I'll just kind of fast forward through some of this, save you guys some agony of just watching me pound stuff together. Although hard Knox is probably like, yeah, hard steel. Only difference is it's not heated, so I don't know how he's gonna feel. But voila. Yeah, it's hard handy work. There's another trick that I've heard of some people doing, and what they'll do is they'll weld a bead inside of here and let it drop down, which might be a little bit more prevalent with the drives. But thing is though too, because materials do vary on your hubs, sometimes they'll say ductile, no welding. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That and the potential to get extra spatter up inside there. You know, wearing materials, it's just something I'm not too keen on trying. I'd like to try it one of these days if I ever get another junk hub. You know, work on it that way. But, yep. So there you have it. Now, if this was a good hub, you know what you could do, or what you do when you take your new race for your new bearings, you use this as your driver, and then you can just kind of come in, get it tapped in, or what some guys will do is they'll actually take these and they'll weld a piece of plate onto here with this with a big heavy piece of rod, and they'll use that as their driver. So that's one of the options that you can always do, is save these things and make a tool out of them. Which is that one, I don't know. This one might be worth saving. This one's just kind of junk altogether. So, but it's real hard steel. And as you can see, I was smacking the living crap out of it and hardly even hurt the backside, except for the one right there where I had a couple glances at it. But, so there you have it. Removal. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Remember to like this video, share this video, and don't forget, shop safety sometimes is as important as firearm safety. You screw something up, somebody could die, or you'll shoot your eye out one way or the other. So, anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I gotta go wash up and put my tools away. So, take care.